morning. Good morning, good morning. Hey, Mina. Hi, Mom. Morning, Amanda. How's it going? Good morning to all. Favorite baby brewer, that's right. I'm cooking a baby. She is in process currently. She is very in process. How's everyone doing? How's everyone feeling? System's down at work, so unable to work. Oh no, you have to do book club because there's no work? What a bummer. So sad. Your kiddo has the flu. Oh no, that's not good. That's not good at all. That doesn't feel fun at all. Poor little thing. I always hate when kids are sick even more than when adults are sick because, like, you can't, it's hard to quantify it for them. You know, like, it sucks even to be an adult who's sick. But, like, when you're little, you're like, but why? You know? And there's no, like, understanding of it when they're so little. Oh, even worse. Oh, he's a bitty baby. Oh my gosh, you definitely can't even explain it to him, right? Like, I mean, how could you? As long as he's not too sick, that's good. Yeah. Yeah, that is hard. That's incredibly hard to deal with, both emotionally and mentally and just all of it. I don't blame you. Morning. Good morning to everybody. I need to empty these pods. There's too many. We go through too much coffee. It's okay. We're doing something big and scary today. Why? Why would you want to do that? I am not a big and scary kind of person. I'm not interested in doing big and scary things. But if you want to tell us about your big and scary thing, you can. But I don't want big and scary things. Although I am giving birth soon, which I guess is huge and scary. Yikes. Have you swam yet? Have I swam yet? I have not swam since I've been this pregnant, but it's because our community pool is closed for construction. And it's also a little cold for swimming. Oh, Anya. Oh, Asian version of Herc? I'm not sure if I know what that means. Swimming is fun. Is the pool heated? That's the big question. Is the pool heated? 10 a.m. Swimming is fun. I love to swim when it's the appropriate temperature. When it is the appropriate temperature. Basically my gorgeous personal Twitter. I think you mean trainer, right? Okay, yeah, that makes more sense. Well, that's exciting. It's very exciting. Swimming is good. Is it indoors? I'm assuming, because it's a little chilly right now, I'm assuming it's going to be indoors, but oh, what do I know? The polar plunge is exhilarating, but yes, a heated pool would be glorious. Yes. I think right now polar plunge would be ill-advisable for me, because my tiny human would be like, what are you doing? She'd be like, whoa, she's moving right now. She decided she wanted to say something about that. Yeah, she does not want to do the polar plunge. It's heated, yes. Outdoors, I used to compete though, so it's not scary. Oh, that is scary. Yeah. Well, but that's a nice scary. Yeah, I'd probably start labor if I got in the pool right now. It'd be too cold. She'd be like, what are we doing, Mom? What is this feeling? We usually only go in warm water in the shower. It's true. Mom, why? Why are you doing this? And I'd be like, honey, it's time to come out. My daughter wants to make water slime today. Do you have a recipe for that? You know what? I have not posted a tutorial on water slime, mostly because I don't like the feeling of it and the touch is awful. You can Google it. It is on my list of things to make, but I would say, depending on your daughter's age, is this, my question, Lisa, is this your first or her first time making slime? I'm not trying to be a Debbie Downer, but water slime is extremely difficult to make compared to other kinds of slime. So I would hate if this is the beginning for you guys to be disappointed, by the outcome by starting with something really hard. If I had to make a suggestion, I always tell people start with butter slime with their kids or fluffy slime, because those are the two easiest slimes to make. And I do have tutorials for those on my page. We've made a few other slimes before. Water does look hard. It's so hard. Even for me, who's been making slime for years, it still sometimes is like, what am I doing? Because it's such a weird thing. I will tell you, the crux of it when you're looking up recipes for it is that you want to have an extremely strong activator, like quadruply strong activator, and then just water also. But it is very difficult to make. I will do a tutorial soon, because I did promise people I would do it. I just hate touching it, which is why I haven't done it yet. Because to me it feels yucky pants. But just in general, there are tutorials online. But no, unfortunately, I have not made one yet, and I'm so sorry about that. Which slimes have you guys made so far? Gosh, neither of those are full. I really did a bad job today. I'm usually a little bit better at guesstimating how to fill these cups, but apparently today I was not eyeballing correctly. It's so weird. Need a little bit more for each. Usually I make too much liquid, but whatever. Yeah, everything's been delayed, Naisa. I had Secret Husband's birthday present was delayed about a week. It's okay, because his birthday's not till February, but like I ordered it early, and they kept emailing me being like, it's delayed. And then apparently Liv sent me something, and it was out for delivery yesterday. Didn't show up. She also wants something with texture, so maybe I'll just get stuff for that. Oh yeah, water slime has no texture to it whatsoever. Maybe for texture, maybe start with Floam. Floam is one of the easier ones. Well, actually, Bingsu is easier. Oh, you're so welcome, Sophie. Bingsu is actually the easiest of the beaded slimes to make, in my opinion, and then Floam, and then so on from there. So if you are near any dollar stores, they do sell Bingsu beads at both the dollar store, I think, and I can't remember another one. They sell them in the craft section. They don't call them Bingsu beads. Oh my gosh, February 7th. You better get on that. My husband's birthday is February 15th. Yeah, I feel like medium temp we've been having. It's okay, but putty, I wanted it. I totally understand. Totally understand. But yeah, Bingsu slimes are the easiest of the textured things, I think, to start with, because yeah, at dollar store. Okay, that's what I thought. They do sell them at the dollar store in a variety of colors, and they don't fall out as much as like other stuff. Naisa's birthday is also the 15th, and somebody else. Who else's birthday is the 15th? Dollar Tree calls it tube confetti. That's right. Thank you, Allie. I couldn't remember what they call it. They call it tube confetti, and it's in the craft section. And they have all different colors. And you can put it in either clear or white glue slime. So it's a pretty easy textured slime to start with. That's a good one, in my opinion. My daughter was asking about bead add-ins recently. I'll have to look for those. Yeah, definitely look for those. Those are like the simplest ones for me, anyway. I mean, like, everyone has a difference of opinion. Some slimers list bingsu beads as like a harder slime, and I'm like, why? Because like of all the beaded slimes, it's one of the easiest ones in my opinion. And the reason I call it one of the easiest ones is because like the beads don't fall out. One of my kids takes the charms out of the slime and my other kid puts them back in. That's very funny, Sophie. Hello, Ray. You know, it's crazy. I've met very little people with February birthdays. You know what, Naisa? So much of our group is February. And also so much of my family and Secret Husband's family is February. Secret Husband's sister, our nephew, and his mom are all in the same week with him and you. And then Becca's in February. My cousin's son, Austin, is in February. It's just like one right after another, like all in a row. Your dad's is Valentine's Day. Yep. See, there you go. So many. That's very funny, Sophie. There's a very clear connection there. That's really funny, Nagisa. Yeah. And my baby will likely be February as well. Yeah. Unless she decides to come sooner on her own, but she will very likely be a February baby. Okay. So we are here. We are reading. Let's get into it. We are reading Princess in Love, and we are starting at the 34% mark. It happens all the time, Amanda. It's usually Becca saying not even anything bad. They filter like the weirdest things. Like sometimes Becca will like tell me what her kids are saying to us, and it gets filtered, and then she'll text me and she'll be like, this is what was filtered, and I'm like, why? It's so bizarro. That's funny, Sloth. Yes, Secret Husband is actually considering our baby one of his birthday gifts, since she will be born right before his birthday, very likely. I did get him another birthday gift also, but he's getting a baby for his birthday, which is very exciting for him. What? You're getting a baby for your birthday?
A baby?
Yes.
For free?
No.
In this economy?
No. Not for free.
Not for free?
She's going to be very expensive.
What?
Yes.
Okay.
Maybe the most money we've ever spent on anything.
Wow.
Yeah, I think over the next 18 years it will cost us a pretty penny to have this child.
I remember making her. It was pretty great.
Oh.
What?
We're live.
Didn't say anything explicit.
That's very funny. Oh, that's amazing. The 17th is my sister-in-law's birthday. Congratulations, Sally. I know, right? Oh, hey, Roxy, how are you feeling? Do you feel okay? Excuse me. Sorry. He did, Amanda. He did. He did do that.
What did I do?
You went AD.
AD?
After dark.
Oh.
Well, I'm glad you're feeling okay, Roxy. Yeah, please let us know, Allie, and like show pictures and stuff, you know? Okay, so let's get into it. Yeah, for real, Amanda. All right, we are chugging right along, and let's see where we get today. Tuesday, December 9th, English. What was that just now in the hallway? Did Kenny Showalter say what I think he said to you? Oh my God, yes, Shamika, what am I going to do? I'm shaking so hard that I can barely write. Oh, they're writing notes back and forth. Okay, so that was Shamika. It doesn't say that, but I'm assuming that was Shamika writing a note to her. Yes, oh my God, Shamika, what am I going to do? I'm shaking so hard I can barely write to you. What do you mean, what are you going to do? The boy is warm for your form, Mia. Just go for it. People can't just be allowed to go around saying things like that, especially so loud. Everyone might have heard him. Do you think everyone heard him? Yeah, everybody heard him all right. You should have seen Lily's face. I thought she was going to suffer one of those somatic breakdowns she's always talking about. You think everybody heard him? I mean, like people coming out of the chemistry lab, do you think they heard him too? How could they not? He yelled it pretty loud. Were they laughing? People coming out of chemistry, were they laughing? Were they? They were laughing, weren't they? Yeah, most of them were laughing. We don't know, Avery. I have no idea. We have no idea what he said. I have no clue. They just started in the middle of a scene. Oh my God, why was I ever born? Except for Michael. Michael wasn't laughing. He wasn't? Really? He wasn't laughing? Are you pulling my leg? No, why would I do that? And why would you also care what Michael Moskovitz thinks? Anyway, I don't care. What makes you think that I care what Michael Moskovitz thinks? For one, because you won't shut up about it. Well, people shouldn't go around laughing at other people's misfortune. That's all I'm saying. I don't see what the big misfortune is. So the guy loves you. Lots of girls would really like it if their boyfriend yelled at them between first and second period that he loved them. Yeah? Well, not me. Use transitive verbs to create brief, vigorous sentences. Transitive. He soon regretted his words. Intransitive. It was not long before he was very sorry that he had said what he said. Tuesday, December 9th. Bio. Gifted and talented was so not fun today. Not that bio's any better on account of the fact that I'm stuck here next to Kenny, who seems to have calmed down just a little bit from this morning. Still, I really think that people who are not actually enrolled in certain classes have no business showing up for them. For instance, just because Judith Gershner has study hall for 5th period, there's no reason she should be allowed to hang around the gifted and talented classroom for 50 minutes during study period. She should never have been let out of study hall in the first place. I don't think she even had a hall pass. Not that I would like turn her in or anything, but this kind of flagrant rule breaking really shouldn't be encouraged. If Lily is going to go through with this walkout thing, which she really is still trying to garner support for, she should add to her list of complaints the fact that teachers in this school totally play favorites. I mean, just because the girl knows how to clone things doesn't mean that she should be allowed to roam the school freely anytime she wants. But there she was when I walked in, and there's no doubt about it. Judith Gershner totally has a crush on Michael. I really don't know how he feels about her, but she was wearing a tan colored pantyhose type thing instead of black cotton tights that she normally wears, so you know something is up. No girl wears tan pantyhose without a good reason for it. And okay, so like maybe they are working on their booth for the winter carnival, but that's no reason for Judith to drape her arm around the back of Michael's chair like that. Plus, he used to help me with my algebra homework during G&T, but now he can't because Judith is monopolizing all his time, and I think he might resent the intrusion. Plus, Judith really has no business butting into my private conversation. She hardly even knows me. But did that stop her from letting me know when she overheard Lily's formal apology for not having believed me about Kenny's weird phone call? Any doubts about the veracity of which now managed to scatter with today's display of unbridled passion in the 3rd floor hallway? Well, she feels sorry for him, Judith says. Oh, no. Poor kid, Judith said. I heard what he said to you in the hallway. I was in chem lab. What was it again? He said, I don't care if you don't feel the same way about me, Mia. I will always love you. Or something like that. I didn't say anything in response, and that's because I was busy picturing how Judith would look with a pencil sticking out of the middle of her forehead. It's just really sweet, Judith said. If you think about it, I mean, the guy's clearly got it bad for you, Mia. This is the problem, see? Everybody thinks what Kenny did is so cute and everything. Nobody seems to understand that it wasn't cute. It wasn't cute at all. It was completely humiliating. I don't think I've ever been so embarrassed in my whole life. And believe me, I have lived through more than my fair share of embarrassing incidents, especially since this whole princess thing started. But I'm apparently the only person in this entire school who thinks what Kenny did was even the least bit wrong. Well, he's obviously in touch with his emotions. Even Lily was taking Kenny's side in this whole thing, unlike some people.
I have to say, this makes me so mad when I start to think about it, because the truth is, ever since I got started writing things down in this journal, I've gotten really in touch with my emotions, and I usually know exactly how I feel about them. The problem is, I can't tell anyone about it. I don't know who was the most surprised when Michael suddenly came to my defense against his sister, Lily, Judith Gershner, or me. Just because Mia doesn't go around shouting about how she feels in the third-floor hallway, Michael said, doesn't mean that she isn't in touch with her emotions. How does he do that? How is he able to magically put words exactly to what I feel, but seem to have so much trouble saying myself? This, you see, is why I love him. How could I not? Yeah, I said triumphantly. Well, you could have said something back to him. Lily always gets disgruntled when Michael comes to my rescue, especially when he does it while she's attacking me out of the lack of honesty in my emotional life, instead of just leaving him hanging there. And what? I demanded injudiciously. I don't know what word I just made up. I now realized, should I have said to him, Lily? How about that you love him back? Lily said. Why? That's all I wanted to know. Why was I cursed with a best friend who doesn't understand that there are some things you just don't say in front of everyone in the gifted and talented classroom, including her brother? The problem is, Lily has never been embarrassed about anything in her entire life. She simply does not know the meaning of the word embarrassment. Look, I said, feeling my cheeks start to burn. I couldn't lie, of course. How could I lie, considering the fact that I now knew about my nostrils, and maybe Lily hadn't figured it out yet, but it was only a matter of time. I mean, if Grammere knew. I really and truly value Kenny's companionship, I said carefully. But love? I mean, love? That's a very big thing. I'm not. I mean, I don't. I mean, I dribbled off pathetically, acutely aware that everyone in the room, most especially Michael, was listening. I see, Lily said, narrowing her eyes. Fear a commitment. I do not fear commitment, I insisted. I just... But Lily's dark eyes were already shining in eager anticipation. She was ready to psychoanalyze me, one of her favorite hobbies, unfortunately. Let's examine the situation, shall we? She said. I mean, here you got this guy going around the hallway, screaming about how much he loves you, and you just stared at him like a rat caught in the path of the D train. What do you suppose that means? Have you ever considered, I demanded, that maybe the reason I didn't tell him I love him back is because, and I almost said it, I almost said that I don't love Kenny, but I couldn't, because if I said that, somehow it would have gotten back to Kenny, and that would be even worse than me breaking up with him. I just couldn't do that. So all I said was, Lily, you know perfectly well that I do not fear commitment. I mean, there are a lot of boys oh yeah? Lily seemed to be actually enjoying herself way more than usual. It was almost as if she was playing to an audience, which of course she was. The audience was her brother and his girlfriend. Name one. One what? Name a boy that you could see yourself committing to for all of eternity. What, do you want like a list? I asked her. Yeah, a list would be nice, Lily said. So I drew up the following list. Guys Mia Thermopolis could see herself committing to for all of eternity. Number 1, Wolverine of the X-Men. Number 2, Orlando Bloom as Legolas. Number 3, James Franco as Tristan in Tristan and Isolde. Number 4, Tarzan from the Disney cartoon. Number 5, the Beast from Beauty and the Beast. Number 6, that hot soldier guy from Mulan. Number 7, the guy Brendan Fraser played in The Mummy. Number 8, Christian Bale as Batman. Number 9, Jake Gyllenhaal and Donnie Darko. And number 10, Justin Baxendale. But this list turned out to be no good, because Lily took it and analyzed it, and it works out that more than half the guys are actually cartoon characters. One is an elf, one is a mutant who can make spikes shoot out of his knuckles. In fact, except for Justin Baxendale, a good-looking senior who transferred to Trinity, and who a whole lot of girls at Albert Einstein High School are already in love with, all the guys I listed are fictional creations. Apparently, the fact that I could list no guys that I had the hope of actually getting together with, or who even lives in our dimension, is indicative of something. Not, of course, indicative of the fact that the guy that I actually like is in the room at the time sitting next to his new girlfriend, so I could not list him. Oh no, nobody thought of that. No, the lack of actual attainable men on my list was apparently indicative of my unrealistic expectations where men are concerned and further proof of my inability to commit. Lily says that if I don't lower my expectations somewhat, I'm destined for a life of unsatisfactory love. As if the way things have been going, I ever expected anything else. Kenny just tossed me this note. Mia, I'm sorry about what happened today in the halls. I understand now that I embarrassed you, and sometimes I forget that even though you're a princess, you're still quite introverted. I promise never to do anything like that again. Can I make it up to you by taking you to lunch at Big Wong's on Thursday? Kenny. I said yes, of course. Not just because I really like Big Wong's steamed vegetable dumplings, or even because I don't want people thinking I fear commitment, but I said yes because I suspect over dumplings and hot tea, Kenny is finally going to ask me to the non-denominational winter dance. And I said yes because in spite of it all, I really do like Kenny and I don't want to hurt his feelings. And I feel the same way even if I weren't a princess and I had to do the right thing. Homework. Algebra. Review questions at the ends of chapters 4 through 7. English, term paper. World Civ. Review questions at the end of chapters 5 through 9. Gifted and talented, none. French, review the questions at the end of chapters 4 through 6. Biology, review questions at the end of chapters 6 through 8. Tuesday, December 9th, 4 p.m., in the limo on the way to the plaza. The following conversation took place between Mr. Gianni and me after algebra review today. Mr. G, hey, Mia, is everything all right? Me, surprised. Yeah, why wouldn't it be? Mr. G, well, it's just that I thought you pretty much grasped the FOIL method, but on today's pop quiz, you got 5 problems wrong, and there were only 5 problems. Me, I guess I've sort of had a lot on my mind. Mr. G, your trip to Genovia? Me, yeah, that, and like, other things. Mr. G, well, if you want to talk about the, other things, you know I'm always here for you. And your mother, I know we might seem preoccupied with the baby coming and everything, but you're always number 1 on our list of priorities. You know that, don't you? Me, mortified. Yeah, but like, there's nothing wrong, really. Thank God he doesn't know about my nostrils, and really, what else could I have said? Hey, Mr. G, my boyfriend's a nutcase, and I can't break up with him on the account of finals, and I'm in love with my best friend's brother. I highly doubt he'd be able to offer anything meaningful as far as advice goes on the above. Mia, he might. He might. I don't know. Tuesday, December 9th, 7 p.m. I don't believe this. I'm home before Baywatch Hawaii starts for the first time in like months. Something must be wrong with Grandmere. Although she seemed pretty normal at our lesson today. I mean, like for her anyway. Except that she stopped me in the middle of reciting the Genovian Pledge of Allegiance, which I have memorized, of course, for when I'm visiting the schools in Genovia. And I don't want to look like an idiot in front of a bunch of 5-year-olds for not knowing the Pledge of Allegiance, you know? But she asked me what I decided to do about Kenny. It's kind of funny about her taking an interest in my personal life since she's never been interested before. Well, like, not very much anyway. And she kept on saying stuff about how ingenious it had been of Kenny to send me those anonymous letters last October, the ones that I thought, well, okay, hoped, not really thought Michael was writing. And I was like, what's so ingenious about that? To which Grandmere just replied, well, you're his girlfriend now, aren't you? Which I never really thought about, but like, I guess she's right. Anyway, my mom was so surprised to see me home early that she actually let me be in charge of choosing the takeout. Pizza margarita for me. I let her get the rigatoni bolognese because even though there's sausage in the sauce, it's probably steeped in nitrates that could harm the developing fetus. Still, it was sort of a special occasion, what with me actually being home for dinner for a change. So even Mr. Gianni got a little wild and ordered something with porcini mushrooms in it. I'm really psyched to be home early though, because you wouldn't believe all the studying I have to do. Plus I should probably start on that term paper, and then there's figuring out what I'm gonna get people for Christmas and Hanukkah, not to mention the thank you speech I have to make to the people of Genovia on my nationally televised event in Genovia anyway. And I'll be introduced to all the people that I'll one day rule. I'd really buckle down. I really better buckle down and get to work. Tuesday, December 9th, 7:30 p.m. Okay, so I was taking a study break and I just realized something. You can actually learn a lot from watching Baywatch. No, like seriously, I've compiled this list for you. Things I learned from watching Baywatch. Number 1, If you are paralyzed from the waist down, you just need to see a kid being attacked by a murderer and you'll suddenly be able to get up and save him. Number 2, if you have bulimia, it's probably caused by 2 men loving you at the same time. Just tell the 2 of them that you only want to be friends and your bulimia will go away. Number 3, it's always easy to get a parking place near the beach. Number 4, male lifeguards always put a shirt on when they leave the beach. Female lifeguards don't need to bother with that. Number 5, if you meet a beautiful but troubled girl, she's probably either a diamond smuggler or suffering from split personality disorder. Do not accept her invitation to dinner. Number 6, Dick Van Patten, although a senior citizen, can be surprisingly hard to quell in a fist fight. Number 7, if people are mysteriously dying in the water, it's probably because a giant electric eel has escaped from a nearby aquarium. Number 8, a girl who's thinking about abandoning her baby should probably just leave it on the beach. Chances are a nice lifeguard will take it home, adopt it, and raise it as its own. Number 9, it's very easy to outswim a shark. Number 10, wild seals make adorable and very easily trained pets. I got news for Mia. What a list. What a list indeed. Yeah, no, so we said that at the same time. I find flaw with this list. Thank you, Haley. I'm sure the author is being sarcastic. I don't know that Mia herself is. I'm just not sure. But maybe we'll find out. Maybe we know she loves Baywatch. It's her favorite show. So I just don't know. But let's continue anyway. Tuesday, December 9th, 8:30 p.m. I just got an email from Lily. Oh, you know what, Haley? I have all of my DMs turned off, and the reason is I get too much spam. If you have a question about an order, you're always welcome to use the contact form on my website and just include your order number in the subject line. But I have all DMs turned off, so I can't even get them, and that's because I got too much spam for a very long time. I just got an email from Lily. I'm not the only one who got it either. Somehow she figured out how to do a mass email to every kid in school. Well, I shouldn't be surprised, I guess. She is a genius. Still, she has clearly developed an atrophy of the brain from studying too much, because look at what she wrote. Attention all students at Albert Einstein High School. Stressed from too many exams, term papers, and final projects? Don't just passively accept the oppressive workload handed down to us by the tyrannical administration. A silent walkout has been scheduled for tomorrow at 10 a.m. exactly. Join your fellow students in showing our teachers how we feel about this inflexible exam schedule, repressive censorship, and having only one reading day for which to prepare for our finals. Leave your pencils, leave your books, gather on East 75th Street between Madison and Park, use the doors by the main administration office if possible, and rally against Principal Gupta and the trustees. Let your voice be heard. I am so sure. I cannot walk out tomorrow at 10 a.m. That's right in the middle of algebra. Mr. Gianni's feelings will be so hurt if we all just get up and leave. But if I say I'm not going to take part in it, Lily will be furious. But if I do take part in it, my dad will kill me, not to mention my mom. I mean, we could all get suspended or something like that. Or we could get hit by a delivery truck. There are a lot of them at 75th Street on that time of day. Why is she doing this? Why must I be saddled with a best friend who is so clearly a sociopath? Tuesday, December 9th, 8:45 p.m. I just got the following instant message from Michael. Cracking. Did you just get that whacked out mass email from my sister? I replied at once. Yes. You're not going along with her stupid walkout, are you? Oh, right. She won't be too mad if I don't go or anything? You don't have to do everything she says, you know that, right, Mia? I mean, you've stood up to her before, so why not now? Because I have enough to worry about for now. For instance, my finals, my impending trip to Genovia. Oh, and also, I don't know, the fact that I love you without adding a fight with my best friend to the list of things to do. But of course, I didn't say that. I just said, I find that the path of least resistance is often the safest one when dealing with your sister. Yeah, well, I'm not doing it. Walking out, I mean. It's different for you. You're her brother. She has to remain on speaking terms with you because you live together. not for much longer, thank God. Oh, right. He's going away to college soon. Well, not like too far away, but just like 100 blocks or so. That's right. You got accepted to Columbia. Early decision, too. I never did congratulate you, so like, congratulations. Thanks. You must be happy that you'll know at least one person there. Judith Gershner, I mean. Yeah, I guess so. Listen, you're still going to be in town for the Winter Carnival, right? I mean, you're not leaving for Genovia before the 19th, are you? All I could think was, why is he asking me this? I mean, he can't be asking me to the dance. He must know that I'm going with Kenny. I mean, if Kenny ever gets around to asking me that is. Besides, it isn't as if Michael's available. He's going with Judith, isn't he? Isn't he? I'm leaving for Genovia on the 20th. Oh, good. Because you should really stop by the computer club's booth at the carnival and check out the program I've been working on. I really think you'll like it. I should have known. Michael isn't going to ask me to any dance. Not in this lifetime, anyway. I should have known it was just a stupid computer program that he wanted me to see. Who even cares? I suppose those dumb army guys will pop out at me and I'll have to shoot them or whatever. It was like Judith's idea, I'm sure. I wanted to write to him. Don't you have the slightest idea what I'm going through? That the only person with whom I can see myself committing to for all eternity is you. Don't you know that by now? But instead, of course, I wrote, can't wait. Well, gotta go. Bye. Sometimes I completely hate myself. Wednesday, December 10th, 3 a.m. You are never going to believe this. Something Granmere said is keeping me awake. Seriously, I was dead asleep. Well, as asleep as you can be with a 25-pound cat purring on your abdomen, when all of a sudden I woke up with this totally random phrase going around in my head. Well, you're his girlfriend now, aren't you? That's what Granmere said when I asked her why it was so ingenious about Kenny having sent me those anonymous love letters. And you know what? She's right. It seems totally bizarre to admit that Granmere might be right about something, but I think it's true. Kenny's anonymous love letters did work. I mean, I am his girlfriend now. So what's to keep me from writing some anonymous love letters to the boy I like? I mean, really, besides the fact that I already have a boyfriend and the guy I like already has a girlfriend, I think that this plan might actually have some merit. It needs some more work, of course, but hey, desperate measures call for desperate times. Or like, something like that. I'm too sleepy to figure it out. December 10th, homeroom. Okay, so I was up all night thinking about it, and I'm pretty sure I've got it all figured out. Even as I sit here, my plan is being put into action, thanks to Tina Hakeem Baba and a stop at Ho's Deli before school started. Actually, Ho's didn't really have what I wanted. I wanted a card that was blank inside with a picture on the front that was sophisticated but not too sexy, but the only blank cards that they had at Ho's that weren't plastered with pictures of kittens were ones of pictures of fruit being dipped into chocolate sauce. I tried to choose a non-phallic fruit, but even the strawberries got kind of a sexier look than I would have liked. I don't know what's sexy about fruit with chocolate sauce dripping off of it, but Tina was like, whoa, when she saw it. Still, she gamely agreed to print my poem on the inside of the card so that Michael won't recognize my handwriting. She even liked my poem, which I came up with at 5 in the morning. Roses are red, violets are blue. You may not know it, but someone loves you. Wow, Mia. Wow. Shakespeare. Not my best work, I will admit, but it was really hard to come up with something even better after only 3 hours of sleep. I hesitated over the use of the L word. I thought maybe I should substitute like for love, but I don't want him to think that there's a creepy stalker after him or anything like that. But Tina said love was absolutely right because, as she put it, it's the truth, isn't it? And since it's anonymous, I guess it doesn't matter that I'm laying my soul open. Anyway, Tina goes by Michael's locker right before we have PE, so she's gonna slip it in then. I can't believe this is the low that I have stooped to, but like Dad once told me, faint heart never won fair lady. Wednesday, December 10th, homeroom. Lars just pointed out that I'm not exactly risking anything, seeing as how I didn't sign the card and even went to the extreme of having somebody else write out the poem for me. Lars knows about this on account of the fact that I had to explain to him why we had to go to Ho's Deli at 8:15 in the morning. He helped me pick up the card, but I would be happy if that was the extent of his contribution to this particular project. Because he's a man, I cannot imagine his input would be valuable at all. Besides, he's been married like 4 times, so I highly doubt that Lars knows anything about romance. Also, he should know by now that we're not allowed to talk during homeroom. Wednesday, December 10th, algebra, 9:30 a.m. I just saw Lily in the hallway. She whispered, "Don't forget, 10 o'clock. Don't let me down." Well, the truth is I did forget about the walkout, the stupid walkout. And poor Mr. Gianni standing there going over chapter 5, not suspecting a thing. It's not his fault Mrs. Spears didn't like Lily's term paper topic. Lily can't just arbitrarily punish all the teachers in the school for something that one teacher did. Oh God, it's already 9:35. What am I going to do? Wednesday, December 10th, algebra, 9:45 a.m. Lana just leaned back and hissed, "You're gonna walk out with your fat friend?" I really take objection to this. Only in a culture as screwed up as ours, where girls like Christina Aguilera are held up as models of beauty when clearly they are in fact suffering from some sort of malnutrition, maybe scurvy, would Lily ever be considered fat? Because Lily isn't really fat. She's just like round, like a puppy. I hate it here. Wednesday, December 10th, algebra, 9:50 a.m. 10 minutes till the walkout. I can't take it. I can't. I'm getting out. Wednesday, December 10th, 9:55 a.m. Okay, I'm standing in the hallway next to the fire alarm by the second floor drinking fountain. I got a hall pass from Mr. G and I told him that I had to go to the bathroom. Lars is with me, of course. I wish that he would stop laughing. He doesn't seem to realize the seriousness of the situation. Plus, Justin Baxendale just walked by with a hall pass of his own and he gave us this really weird look. And yeah, I probably do look a little bit strange hanging out in the hallway with my bodyguard who's currently experiencing a fit of the giggles, but still, I did not need to be looked at weirdly by Justin Baxendale. His eyelashes are really long and dark, and they make his eyes look kind of smoky. Oh my God, I can't believe I'm writing about Justin Baxendale's eyelashes at a time like this. I mean, I'm really in a bind here. If I do not walk out with Lily, I will lose my best friend. But if I do walk out with everyone, I will be totally dissing my stepfather. So I really only have one choice. Lars just offered to do it for me, but I can't let him. I can't let him take the fall for me if we get caught. I'm the princess, and I have to do it myself. So I just told him, get ready to run. This is one time that being so tall comes in handy. I have a pretty long stride, so here goes. Wednesday, December 10th, 10 a.m. East 75th Street, beneath some scaffolding. I don't get why she's so mad. I mean, yeah, if everyone evacuates the building due to a fire alarm going off, it's not really the same thing as leaving in protest against the repressive teaching techniques of some teachers, but we are still all standing in the middle of the street in the rain and nobody has coats on because they wouldn't let us stop at our lockers for fear that we'd all be consumed by fiery conflagration, so we're probably going to get hypothermia from the cold and die anyway. That's what she wanted, right? But no, she can't even be happy about that. Someone ratted us out, she keeps yelling. Somebody told. Why else would they schedule a fire drill for the exact same time as my walkout? I'm telling you, these bureaucrats will stop at nothing to keep us from speaking out against them. Nothing. They'll even make us stand out in the freezing drizzle to hope and weaken our immune system. So we'll no longer have the strength to fight them. Well, I, for one, refuse to catch a cold. I refuse to succumb to their petty abuses. I suggested to Lily that she write her term paper on the suffragettes because they, like us, had to put up with numerous indignities in their battle for the fight for equal rights. Lily, however, told me not to be facile. God, being best friends with a genius really is hard. Wednesday, December 10th, gifted and talented. I can't tell if Michael got the note or not. Worse, stupid Judith Gershner is here again. Why can't she just stay in her own classroom? Why is she always hanging around ours? We were all getting along perfectly until she came along. My life is pathetic. I thought about going across the hall to the teacher's lounge and asking Mrs. Hill a question about something, like why she had the custodians remove the door to the supply closet so we can't lock Boris in there anymore. So maybe she'd look over and notice that there's like a weird girl in our classroom who's not supposed to be there, but I couldn't bring myself to do it because, well, Michael obviously wants Judith here or else he would tell her to go away, right? Anyway, with Michael so busy and all with Miss Gershner, I guess I'm on my own with the whole algebra review thing. That's all right. I'm completely fine with that. I can study on my own just fine. Watch. A, B, C equals disjoint partition of a universal set. Collection of non-empty subsets of U that are pairwise disjointed and whose union is equal to the set of U. Yeah, I get that. I totally get what that means. Who needs Michael's help anyway? Not me. I'm totally cool with a collection of non-empty subsets. I'm totally cool with that. Oh, Michael, you have made my heart a disjointed partition. Why can't you see that we were meant to be a universal set? Instead, you have turned my soul into a collection of non-empty subsets. I cannot believe that her love was meant to be pairwise disjoint, but rather a union, a U equal set of you and me. A math poem, you guys. She wrote a math poem. I hate it. Speaking of the suffragettes, I'm only number 21 on the list for that book now. I started at place like 110 for that book, and we're down to 21. I think they said there's 6 weeks left until we get that book finally. So we actually are going to get that suffragette book one of these days. One day we will read about the witch suffragettes. One day, friends, it will arise. The baby will already be here, but we will read it one day. I shake my fist at them. All right. Wednesday, December 10th, French. You know what else I just realized? That if this thing works, like I do manage to get Michael away from Judith Gershner and I break up with Kenny and then I end up, in a potentially romantic situation with Lily's brother, I will not know what to do. Seriously, take kissing for instance. I've only ever kissed one person before, and that's Kenny. I cannot believe that what Kenny and I did really encompasses the whole of the kissing experience, because it certainly wasn't fun the way that people on TV make it look. This is a very disturbing thought that has led me to an equally disturbing conclusion. I know very little about kissing. In fact, it seems to me that if I'm going to be doing kissing with anybody, I should probably get some advice beforehand. From like a kissing expert, which is why I am going to consult Tina Hakim Baba. She may not be allowed to wear makeup to school, but she has been kissing Dave Farouk El Abar, who goes to Trinity, for like close to 3 months now, and she likes it. So I consider her an expert on the subject. I'm enclosing the results of this highly scientific document for future reference. Tina, I need to know about kissing. Can you please answer the following questions in detail? And do not show this to anyone. Do not lose this piece of paper. Mia. Number 1. Can a boy tell if the person he is with is inexperienced? And how does an inexperienced kisser kiss so I can avoid that? Answer. The guy may sense a feeling of nervousness coming from you or that you are uneasy, but everyone's nervous when they're kissing someone new. It's totally natural. But kissing is easy to catch on to, believe me. An inexperienced kisser might break away too soon because he or she is scared or whatever, but it's totally normal. It's supposed to be that weird. It makes it fun. Number 2. Is there such a thing as a great kisser? And if so, what are the qualifications? So I know what to practice. Answer. Yeah, there's such a thing as a great kisser. A great kisser is always affectionate and gentle and patient and not at all demanding. Number 3, how much pressure do you exert on the lips? Do you push, like a handshake? Or are you supposed to be firm? Or are you supposed to just stand there and let the guy do all of the work? Answer. Well, if you want a gentle kiss, like a caring one, don't apply too much pressure. This is also true if he's wearing braces. You don't want to cause any lacerations. If you give a guy a harsh kiss, like too much pressure, he might think you're desperate or that you want to go further than you probably do. Of course, you aren't supposed to just stand back and let him do all the work. Kiss him back, but always kiss him the way that you want to be kissed. That's how guys learn. If we didn't show them how to do everything, we would seriously never get anywhere. Number 4, how do you know when it's time to stop? Well, stop when he stops, or when you feel like you've had enough, or you don't want to go any further. Just gently, so you don't freak him out. Move your head back, or move to the right, and then change the kissing into a hug, and then you can just step back. Number 5, if you're in love with him, is it still gross? Of course not. Kissing is never gross. Well, okay, I guess I could see that maybe with someone like Kenny, it might be. It's always better with someone you actually like. Of course, even with someone you really like, sometimes kissing can be gross. Once Dave accidentally licked me on the chin and I was all, ew, get away. But I think it was just totally an accident. The licking anyway. Number 6, if he's in love with you, does he even care if the kisses are bad? Define bad kisser, please see above. Answer. If the guy likes or loves you, he won't care if you're a good bad kisser or not. In fact, even if you're a really bad kisser, he'll probably think you're a good one, and vice versa. He should like you for what you are, not how you kiss. Definition of a bad kisser. A bad kisser is someone who gets your face all wet, slobbers on you, sticks his tongue in when you're not ready, has bad breath, or sometimes there can be kissers whose tongues are all dry and prickly like a cactus. I've never experienced one of those, but I have heard about them. Number 7. When do you know if it's time to open your mouth, thus turning it into a French kiss? You'll probably feel his tongue touch your lips, but if you want to pursue the idea, you can open your lips a little, but if not, just keep them totally closed. Coming au demain, Chapter 2, How to French. Homework. Algebra review. Algebra. Review the questions at the end of chapters 8 through 10. English. English journal. Books I have read. World Civ. Review questions at the end of chapters 10 through 12. G&T. None. French, review questions at the end of chapters 7 through 9. Biology, review questions at the end of chapters 9 through 12. Wednesday, December 10th, 9 p.m. in the limo on the way home from Grandmere's. I'm so tired I can hardly write. Grandmere made me try on every single dress in Sebastiano's showroom. You wouldn't believe the number of dresses I've had on today. Short ones, long ones, straight ones, skirted ones, poofy skirted ones, white ones, pink ones, blue ones, and even a lime green one, which Sebastiano brought out with the coal in my cheeks. The purpose of all this dress trying on business was to choose one to wear on Christmas Eve during my first televised live speech to the people of Genovia. I have to look regal, but not too regal, beautiful, but not too beautiful, sophisticated, but not too sophisticated. I tell you, it was a nightmare of hollow-cheeked women in white, the new black, buttoning, zipping, and snapping me in and out of dresses. Now I know how all those supermodels must feel. No wonder they do so many drugs. Actually, it was kind of hard to choose my dress for my first big televised event because, surprisingly, Sebastiano did turn out to be a pretty good designer. There were several dresses that I actually wouldn't be embarrassed to be caught dead in. Oops, slip of the tongue. I wonder, though, if Sebastiano does really want to kill me. He seems to be really enjoying being a fashion designer, which he, couldn't do if he was the Prince of Genovia. He'd be too busy turning bills into law and stuff like that. Still, you can tell he'd totally enjoy wearing a crown. Not that, as ruler of Genovia, he'd ever actually get to do this. I've never really seen my dad in a crown, just suits and shorts when he plays racquetball with other world leaders. Ew, I wonder if I'll have to learn how to play racquetball. But if Sebastiano became Prince of Genovia, he would totally wear a crown all the time. He told me nothing brings out the sparkle in someone's eyes like a pear-shaped diamond. He prefers Tiffany's, or as he calls it, Tiffs. Since we were getting so chummy and all, I told Sebastiano about the non-denominational winter dance and how I have nothing to wear to it, and Sebastiano seemed disappointed when he learned that I would not be wearing a tiara to my school dance, but he got over it and started asking me all these questions about the event, like, who do you go with, and what do he look like, and stuff like that. I don't know what it was, but I found myself actually telling Sebastiano about my love life. It was so weird. I totally didn't want to, but it all just started spilling out, and thank God Grandmere wasn't there. He'd gone off. What? Thank God Grandmere wasn't there. Oh, I think it's a typo. It says he'd gone off in search of more cigarettes and to have a sidecar refresh. I think it means she'd. I told Sebastiano about Kenny and how he loves me, but I don't love him, and how I actually like someone else, but he doesn't even know I'm alive. And Sebastiano is actually a pretty good listener. I don't know how much, if anything, he understood of what I was saying, but he didn't take his eyes off my reflection as I talked. And when I was done, he looked me up and down in the mirror and just said, "This boy you like, how you know he no like you back?" Because, I said, he likes this other girl. And Sebastiano made an impatient motion with his hands. The gesture was made more dramatic by the fact that he was wearing sleeves with these big frilly curls on them. No, he said. He help you with your al homework. He like you or he no do that. Why he do that if he no like you? I took help you with your al homework to mean he helps you with your algebra homework. I thought for a minute about why Michael had been so willing to do that. Help me with algebra, I mean. I guess it's just because I'm his sister's best friend and he isn't that type of person who can sit around and watch his sister's best friend flunk out of high school without, at least trying to do something about it. But while I was thinking about it, I couldn't help remembering how Michael's knee beneath our desks sometimes brushed against mine as he was telling me about integers, or sometimes how he leans so close in when I'm correcting something that I've written wrong that I can smell how nice and clean the soap of his scent is, or how sometimes when I do my Lana Weinberger imitation, he throws his head back and laughs really hard. Michael's lips look extra nice when he's smiling. Tell Sebastiano urged me. Tell Sebastiano why this boy help you if he no like you. I sighed. Well, because I'm his little sister's best friend, I said sadly. Really, could there be anything more humiliating? I mean, clearly Michael has never been impressed with my keen intellect or ravishingly good looks. Given my low grade point average and, of course, my giantism, Sebastiano tugged on my sleeve and went, "You no worry. I make a dress for this dance. This boy, he no think of you as little sister's best friend." Yeah, sure, whatever. Why must all my relatives be so weird? Anyway, we picked out what I'm going to wear on Genovian national TV during my introduction. It's this white taffeta job with a huge poofy skirt and this light blue sash. The royal colors of Genovia are blue and white. But Sebastiano had one of his assistants take photos of me in all the dresses so I can see how I looked in them and then decide. And I thought this was fairly professional for a guy who calls breakfast break. But all that isn't what I wanted to write about. I'm so tired I hardly know what I'm doing. What I actually wanted to write about was what happened today after the algebra review, which is that Mr. Gianni, after everyone but me left, went, "Mia, I heard a rumor that there was supposed to be some kind of student walkout today. Had you heard about that?" Me, freezing in my seat.
No.
Oh, so you wouldn't know if somebody... Oh, sorry. The formatting is weird on this and I got confused. Oh, so you wouldn't know if somebody, maybe in protest of the protest, threw the second floor fire alarm, the one right by the drinking fountain?
Me, wishing Lars would stop coughing suggestively. No.
That's what I thought, because, you know, there's a penalty for pulling the fire alarm when in fact there is no sign of a fire, and that penalty is expulsion.
Oh, yes, I know that.
I thought you might have seen who did it, since I believe I gave you a hall pass shortly before the alarm went off.
No, I didn't see anybody. Except Justin Baxendale and his smoky eyelashes, but I didn't say that.
I didn't think so. Oh well, if you ever hear who did it, maybe you could tell her from me never to do it again.
Okay.
And tell her thanks from me too. The last thing we need right now with tensions running so high over finals is a student walkout.
Mr. Gianni then picked up his briefcase and his jacket.
I'll see you at home.
And then he winked at me. He winked at me! Like he knew I was the one who'd done it, but he couldn't know. I mean, he doesn't know about my nostrils, which are totally flaring the whole time. I could feel them flaring, right? He doesn't know about that, right? Thursday, December 11th, homeroom. Lily is going to drive me crazy. Seriously, like it's not enough that I have finals and my introduction to the Genovian people and my love life and everything else to worry about. I have to listen to Lily complain about how the administration of Albert Einstein High School is out to get her. The whole way to school this morning, she just droned on and on about how it's all a plot to silence her because she's the one who complained about the Coke machine outside the gym. And apparently the Coke machine is indicative of the administration's efforts to turn us all into mindless soda-drinking, Gap-wearing clones, in Lily's opinion. If you ask me, this isn't really about the Coke or the attempts by the school's administration to turn us into mindless pod people. It's really just because Lily's still mad that she can't use the chapter of the book she's writing on the high school experience as her term paper. I reminded Lily that if she doesn't submit a whole new topic, she's going to get an F as her 9-week grade. Factor that in with her A for the last 9 weeks, it's only like a C, which will significantly lower her grade point average and put her chances of getting into Berkeley, which is her first choice of a school, at risk. And she may be forced to fall back on her safety school, Brown, which would be quite a blow for her. She didn't even listen to me. She said she's having an organizational meeting of this new group, of which she's president, Students Against the Corporatization of Albert Einstein High School, or SA-CAEHS, on Saturday. And apparently I have to come because I'm the group's secretary. Don't ask me how that happened. Lily says I write everything down anyway, so it shouldn't be any trouble for me. I wish Michael had been there to protect me from his sister, but like he has every day this week, he took the subway to school early so that he could work on his project for the Winter Carnival. I wouldn't doubt that Judith Gershner's been showing up to school on the early side too this week. Speaking of whom, I picked up another greeting card on the way from the Plaza gift shop to Sebastiano's showroom last night. It's a lot better than the stupid one with the strawberry. This one has a picture of a lady holding a finger to her lips, and inside it says, shh. Under it, I'm having Tina write the following. Roses are red, but cherries are redder. Maybe she can clone fruit flies, but I like you better. What I meant was that I like him more than Judith Gershner does, but I'm really not sure that comes through in this poem. Tina says it does, but Tina thinks that I should have used love instead of like, so who knows if her opinion is of any value? This poem is clearly calling for like and not love. I should know. I write enough of them. Poems, I mean. English journal. This semester, we have read several novels, including To Kill a Mockingbird, Huckleberry Finn, and The Scarlet Letter. In your English journal, please record your feelings about the books we have read and books in general. What have been your most meaningful experience as a reader? What are your favorite books? What are your least favorite books? Please use transitive verbs. Books I have read and what they meant to me by Mia Thermopolis. Books that were good. Number 1, Jaws. I bet you didn't know that in the book version of this, Richard Dreyfuss and Roy Schneider's wife have beep boop, but they do. Number 2, Catcher in the Rye. This is totally a good book, and it has a lot of bad words. Number 3, To Kill a Mockingbird. This is an excellent book. They should do a movie version of this with Mel Gibson as Atticus, and he should blow Mr. Elwell away with a flamethrower at the end. Number 4, A Wrinkle in Time. Only we never find out the most important thing, whether Meg has breasts or not. I think she probably did, considering the fact that she already had glasses and braces. I mean, of all of that, flat-chested too, God would never be so cruel. Number 5, Emmanuel. In 8th grade, my best friend and I found this book on the top of a trash can on 3rd Street, and we took turns reading it out loud. It was like very good, at least the parts I remember. Mom caught us reading it and took it away before we got the chance to finish it. Books that sucked. Number 1, The Scarlet Letter. You know what would have been cool if there had been a rift in the space-time continuum and one of those Eurotrash terrorists Bruce Willis is always chasing in the Die Hard movies dropped a nuclear bomb on the town where Arthur Disdale and all those other losers lived and blew it sky high. That's about the only thing I could think of that would have made this book remotely interesting. Number 2, Our Town. Okay, this is a play and not at all a book, but they still made us read it, and what I have to say about it is that basically you find out that when you die, nobody cared about you and you were alone forever at the end. Okay, thanks for that. I feel much better now. Aside from Sasha. That is not the moral of Our Town, and it's a great play. Number 3, The Mill on the Floss. I don't want to give anything away here, but midway through the book, just when things were getting good, and there were all these hot romances, not as hot as like in Emmanuel, so don't get your hopes up or anything, someone very crucial to the plot dies, which if you ask me is just a cop-out so that the author could make her deadline in time. Number 4, Anne of Green Gables. All that blah, blah, blah about imagination. I tried to imagine some car chases and explosions that would actually make this book good, but like all of Annie's drippy, unimaginative friends, I just couldn't do it. Number 5, Little House on the Prairie. Little yawn on the big snore is more like it. I have all 97,000 of these books because people kept on giving them to me when I was little, and all I have to say is that if Half Pint had lived in Manhattan, she would have gotten her you-know-what kicked from Avenue D. Okay, well, I don't exactly agree with Mia's lists, but to each their own. We are at 0.51% in the book, and we will continue on, of course. Little yawn and the big snore. That's what she wrote. Excuse me. My opinion of those books is slightly different than Mia's, but Mia and I are not one and the same. We are just a collection of people who have some things in common. Thank you. It's hilarious descriptions, yes. Not entirely accurate, but you know, she's 14, so what are you gonna do? We all live and we learn. I hope you all have a, oh. We are reading The Princess Diaries 3. Why am I sneezing so much? That was like 18 sneezes in a row. That's like really enough. So we are at 51% for those who are keeping track, and I'm gonna sneeze again. What is happening? Outrageous. Outrageous. So yeah. There will be a lot of videos and stuff going up over the next couple of days. Okay, I should probably just stop trying to give announcements and just go, because apparently all I'm going to do is sneeze, which is totally useless. I will see you all later. Of course, Amanda, no problem. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Good luck to Anya with your swimming time, which should be coming shortly. And this is my attempt to stop sneezing. And I'm gonna try to get ahead on some customs and roll for slimes for February, since I'm all done with January. So if you are a custom or roll for slime person who's owed a February thing, DM me if you want to be one of the early people to go now instead of in March, and I will make videos for those, because I'm actually like ahead and I should just keep working until the baby comes, I assume. Otherwise it's a waste of time, right? So I finished everything for January so fast that I still have 9 more days in January, so we can get a little ahead. So anyway, I will see you all on the flip side, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. Bye, guys.